Ya, halo, selamat pagi semuanya sahabat MII. Apa kabar semuanya? Saya harapkan dan doakan semuanya dalam keadaan sehat. Baik, terima kasih atas partisipasi dan antusiasnya sehingga kita semua dapat berjumpa dalam webinar kita mengangkat tema Solusi Katalon sebagai Otomasi Testing API dan juga situs website dan juga mobile aplikasi. Oke, sebelumnya izinkan saya memperkenalkan diri. Saya Dara Puspadewi selaku produk representatif dari PT Mitra Integrasi Informatika, khususnya untuk Katalon. And also I want to introduce our first speaker, Rupesh Shawan, as Katalon Engineer Solution. Dan juga nanti ada pemateri kedua, yaitu Kevin, selaku Strategic Pre-Sales PT Mitra Integrasi Informatika. Baik, teman-teman semuanya, pada pagi hari ini saya akan memperlihatkan kepada teman-teman semua seperti apa sih keseruan kita pada pagi hari ini. Nah, yang pertama ini adalah opening seperti yang sudah kita lakukan tadi ini. Kemudian nanti agenda pertama yaitu akan ada presentasi dari Rupesh Shawan, yaitu mengenai manual testing versus automated testing. Kita akan mengetahui nih bagaimana sih perkembangan zaman yang tadinya manual gitu ya. Mungkin dari rekan-rekan masih ada yang menggunakan manual testing, sekarang ada yang namanya automated testing. Itu seperti apa sih? Nah, kita akan bahas tuntas nih. Kemudian Rupesh juga akan menjelaskan mengenai Katalon platform itu sendiri gitu, dari produk-produknya, fungsinya, dan juga tentunya manfaatnya untuk kita ya. Kemudian di sesi selanjutnya ada Kevin. Kevin akan menjelaskan mengenai MII sebagai partner itu apa sih capability-nya gitu kan. Selain kita bisa membantu rekan-rekan untuk provide license gitu, apa sih yang bisa MII lakukan untuk rekan-rekan semua. Kemudian kami juga akan membahas mengenai customer reference. Customer reference ini adalah perusahaan-perusahaan di Indonesia yang tentunya sudah mengadopsi Katalon yang dibantu dengan MI. Siapa aja sih gitu kan? Nah, kita akan kupas tuntas nanti di sesi kedua. Kemudian agenda selanjutnya ada live demo. Live demo ini nanti kita akan melihat secara sekilas gitu ya, bagaimana sih tampilan dari Katalon ini dan bagaimana demonya, seperti itu. Dan nanti juga setelah itu kita akan ada share link feedback form. Jadi saya mohon, saya harap rekan-rekan semua bisa mengisi feedback form ini dengan selengkap-lengkapnya informasi yang teman-teman punya. Karena nanti apabila teman-teman mengisi feedback form, kami akan menyiapkan sertifikasi kehadiran. Kemudian juga selanjutnya ada Q&A session. Namun jika nanti di tengah-tengah presentasi, jika teman-teman ada pertanyaan, gitu ya, boleh sekali langsung saja di chat, dituliskan di kolom chat dengan menuliskan nama, asal perusahaan, dan pertanyaan apa yang akan rekan-rekan sampaikan. Seperti itu. Baik, mungkin tidak lama-lama lagi ya, saya langsung serahkan mulai webinar ini. So for our first speaker will be Rupesh Shawan. Hi Rupesh, are you there?
Ya, hai Dara.
Ya,
Terima kasih.
oke Rupesh.
Yeah, hi, good morning, all of you. So, welcome to the webinar about the Katalon as an end-to-end platform for the test automation. In today's webinar, we will see like what are the challenges which we are facing on normally on the manual testing, and then we will focus on how we can create the journey towards the automation testing from the manual testing, how the manual testing and automation testing both can be combined, and we can follow the integrated approach to get the good speed with this agile world. Okay, so let me share my screen. I hope that you're able to see my screen.
Yes, your screen
Okay.
is.
Thank you so much. Okay, so just to introduce myself, Rupesh Samant, I'm working with as a solution engineer with the Katalon, and before that, I have the reach of experience about the automation testing and DevOps engineer since last 11 years. I'm in software automation testing field. So today we will see like what are the Catalan platform, how this Catalan platform will support into the solutioning for the API, website, and mobile application automation. So let's see the agenda for the today's webinar. We will see like what is the manual testing, how it's beneficial, what are the challenges in the manual testing, then how we can leverage the automation testing, and what are the benefit of the automation testing, and whether the alone automation testing can do everything or not. But if let's see how we can follow the integrated approach with the manual as well as automation testing, and how we can march towards the autonomous testing. We'll see how to adopt and transport into the automation testing world. We see the Catalan platform, how it will leverage all the different features and capabilities for you guys. And then we will see a live demo about the web, mobile, and API automation using the Catalan platform. And then we will be sharing some of the customers and partner success stories along with the MI as a partner, how they have doing with the Catalan in the current region. Okay, so let's move toward the first part of the webinar. We'll see like, as you all know that today we all are doing the manual testing into the different functional testing, regression testing, and I think this is really beneficial for all the applications which are small. In a case we have some small projects and you want to do the UI user testing, that's really beneficial over there. When you can do the manual testing, you understand the user journeys, business use cases, very much aware about those business use cases, and you have the flexibility and you can adopt any user stories you can create and you can test manually. So manual testing will be really beneficial on small projects. Definitely we will have the different complex journeys which you can cover easily in the manual testing. But as you know that manual testing will have some of the cons also, because there is a chance that we are a human and we may do some of the error during the manual testing. We may forgot to test something. We may forgot to let's say we do some human errors during the manual testing, and we are not able to cover everything in the manual testing, right? Because we have the timelines, we need to cover everything, we need to complete the coverage of the functional testing, and that's not possible into the certain timelines and all those reputational task in the regression testing. So definitely that is not possible using the manual testing, as we all know. But yeah, the manual testing will be helpful in some of the low level regression testings. If you are doing the exploratory testing, if you want to do the ad hoc testing, so definitely you can go for the manual testing as an one option over there, right? But let's say if you want to adapt to the automation testing, what are the benefit? Definitely in automation testing you will get the speed, you will able to achieve the regression testing in the given timeline. If there are different repetitive tasks, you can automate those tasks, and you can create the reusable component or reusable library, which you can definitely reuse in the every release. Whenever you get the new release, you can go and test your sanity testing, you can do the regression testing. So you can divide your different packs into the automation and you can run those with the every release. So definitely you will get the immediate results. You can go with the understanding with those results. You see that whether your release is really good to go or not. So those kind of benefit you will get from the automation testing. So definitely in the large project we will require the automation testing, but definitely there are certain weakness with the automation testing also, that we will have the different maintenance of like whenever you do the automation script, there is always a change into the application, and when you have the application changes into the uh, uh, in the sprint, and you need to have a little bit of time to do those maintenance and use the script into the regression. So definitely there are the challenges in the automation testing as well. But if we do combine all automation testing as well as manual testing, and if you build a strategy in your release cycle, definitely it will help you guys. For example, whatever the new changes are there into the sprint, you can do the manual testing for those part. But n minus one sprint, you can do the automation, and you can always test your releases into the n minus one using the automation as a regression pack. So those kind of strategy you can build, and you can follow the integrated approach, as I can say, where you can have a manual testing, where you have the flexibility, and in automation testing where you have the speed and improve the coverage, because you are obviously going to cover all the different scenarios, use cases, test data, and you can able to test all this together using the automation testing. So that's always good to go with the integrated approach, where you will do the manual testing as well as automation testing. So definitely the regression part or the sanity testing, there you can focus with the automation testing, but let your manual tester focus on the exploratory testing, ad hoc testing. Let them do the different impact analysis and everything using the manual test cases and maybe manual flows and everything. But the regression, sanity, and repetitive tasks can be automated and can be executed through the automation. So that's how you can leverage the manual as well as automation into the integrated approach. Okay, so now let's see why we need to adopt into the automation testing. As I said, if you want to follow the integrated approach, we should go and adopt the transform ourselves into the automation testing. But why should we go for that? You know that in today's world, every customer, every organization is having and focusing on the three different important tasks over here. Is like, you need to increase your operational efficiency. You need to make sure that all your resources are getting utilized properly. You are able to accelerate yourself, and you are able to go to market strategy. You need to follow in a speed, and you need to improve the software quality as well as at the same time. So these are the three different I can say goal which every organization is having, and we need to achieve this with the automation testing. So in the automation testing world, or in the today's agile world, we have the pressure of all these buzzwords, right? We need to go for the shift left, we need to go for the shift right, and we need to follow the DevOps. We need to like, we have different kind of ecosystem where we have the different technologies, tools which we need to integrate into the DevOps. We need to faster, and we need to improve the quality, all those things, right? So for all this pressure, we should have one good platform which will cover all these things. And in today's agile world, we have the normal challenges. For example, let's say you have many different tool sets available in your organization, but all those tools has to be integrated and has to be utilized properly in your projects. That is one of the challenge. You should have the peoples who understand those tool set, who understand the programming languages, who should use the open source tools like Selenium or IPM to do the automation, right? So all those things are there, all those challenges are there. We have a limited time, and we need to do all these things with the required number of resources, with the minimum number of resources, with minimum number of resources and times. So these are the challenges, and if we do not follow the automation testing, this will really impact you, because this will cost you more. uh, Definitely this will create a many technical debt for you, because you have purchased so many licenses of different tools and technologies in your organization, and then you're not able to build the proper testing COE with all this time. And we have the definitely less time, and you need to follow the like, you need to go to market with the good resources and good technologies. So all this impact has to be solved using the one of the good platform. And here we do follow a proper maturity model for you guys. As in Catalan, we allow you to go from the manual testing to the automation testing. And then definitely once you are at the some of the next level of maturity, where you have some of the good features which Catalan does provide to you, like you can have the self-healing kind of things in the automation testing, you will have the visual testing kind of thing in the automation testing, you have a platform which will allow you to plan, organize, and execute, schedule, and uh, analyze all your result into the overall test automation life cycle. Once you do achieve that particular stage, I think then it will be the next level where you will go for the autonomous testing kind of thing, where we'll leverage the different AI features and all those stuffs. But you will not directly go from one step to the autonomous testing directly. You need to follow, you need to go from manual testing to the open source. But open source does have their own challenges. You will need resources with the skill. You will require a lot of effort into the creating frameworks, maintaining those frameworks, right? So open source has their own challenges. But if you go at the next level with the platform like a Katalon, then you will achieve one stage at the autonomous automation testing, and then you can move forward. So that's how the step-by-step maturity model which we provide as a Katalon. So how this Katalon platform look likes, and how this help you guys in the journey from manual testing to the automation testing. So if you see here, the Katalon platform is one of the uh, quality management platform. It's in a test orchestration, or I can say automation test orchestration platform, where you have option, and you have the whole journey in a testing lifecycle from planning stage to the authorization, where you do a requirement planning. You can plan your test cases, you can link your requirements to the user stories into the test cases. You will have option to author the test cases, like you can create the automation script using the Catalan platform for all the different kind of technology, if it is web, desktop, mobile, or APIs. And once you authorize the test cases, you will organize those test cases into the Catalan platform. You will have option to link your test cases to the user stories, so that you can get a requirement traceability matrix and the overall testing coverage. Once you do that, you can schedule your test cases on different platform, whether you want to execute on the cloud platform, where you will get the ready-made infrastructure. You can execute your script on the different browsers, different devices, different OS versions, and all those stuffs. And then you can also have the option to use some of the Dockerized containers, Kubernetes containers, or any your own infrastructure. If you want to execute on your own infra, then that options are available with the Catalan platform. So once you do that executions of the automation testing, all the results and everything will be get analyzed, and you will get a proper analytical reports and dashboards into the Catalan platform itself. So that's how it will allow you to overall testing lifecycle, I can say test automation lifecycle, to be managed into the single platform with all the different technologies and all the different browser versions and devices, everything into the single platform. So that's how about the Catalan platform. Uh, the different benefits what you get from the Catalan platform is about that confidence about the team. So this Catalan platform is very easy to adopt by the unskilled people, okay, who doesn't have any knowledge about the programming languages, or they have very little bit knowledge about the programming. That's fine. Anybody from a business user side also can easily adopt the Catalan platform. They can go and learn the Catalan platform. The overall timeline which is required, like it's just a 1 week of time, you can just go and do the hands-on on the Catalan. If somebody who is already having the little bit understanding about the programming languages or open source tools, I think those people can easily go and do the hands-on, and they started using the Catalan in a couple of days. Okay, so that's how you can create a team with the confidence. They can adopt easily. They have the flexibility to use the Catalan as a different because we have the option to integrate with all the different kind of tools in the CI/CD pipelines, or if you want to integrate with any test management tools, or even if you have any ready framework which is already you are using, those frameworks can be also integrated with the Catalan. So we are not saying that we can scrap everything and you can just utilize the Catalan. But if all the asset which you have created with the other frameworks also can be integrated with the Catalan, and you can start using the Catalan. So that's how different benefits you will get using the Catalan platform, like a speed, you will get the affordability of these, then definitely the scalability. We are scaling all across the different devices, different browsers. Even on the feature wise, we have all the AI features like self-healing, visual testing, and this all different kind of testing lifecycle signals which we are creating through the we are creating a model where you can get all the different signals from the planning stage to authorization stage to execution. At every stage we are planning to give you the signals so that you can take a decisions out of this platform at any point of time. For example, if you are doing any testing and you want to see that how this impacting other functions or other features of your uh, overall applications. So those kind of impact analysis, failure analysis, all those stuffs are getting included into the Katalon platform so that you can take a proper decisions. You can see that what kind of functionality is impacting more and or it is getting failed more. So you need to focus on those functionality testing. So those kind of things are available into the Katalon platform. So if you see, the Katalon platform will look like as a overall testing lifecycle from planning, authorization, organizing, and then execution and analyzing. So in planning, we have the schedule option. You can do create your test strategy. In authorization, you can create your manual as well as automation test cases. So in coming quarter 1 of the next year, we are also integrating manual testing as a part of our platform so that you can access both manual test cases as well as the automation test cases in a single platform. And then you can organize, you can execute all manual automation test cases, and you can analyze the testing reports. Okay, so that's not only the thing which we are giving, but we are allowing you to administration of all the different kind of project structure, creating the different account within the organization. You can have a different projects. Inside the projects you will have a different teams working on that project. So all those stuffs can be added into the Katalon platform, which you can anybody can go and manage those things. We have the integration with different ALM tools, different CI/CD tools, environments, and DevOps platform. So just to give you idea about what are the integrations which we have available. So if you see the different kind of test management tool like Jira, TestRail, Qtest, TestLinks, those can be integrated with the Katalon platform. All the CI/CD tool which you are currently using in your organization, for example, Jenkins, Travis CI, Bamboo, Azure DevOps, all those CI/CD tools can be integrated. Collaboration tools like Git, Slack, and Microsoft Teams can be integrated. Even if you have your own execution platform, for example, today you are using Source Lab, or maybe you are using Browser Stack kind of thing to do the cross-browser testing. So all those readily integrated with the Katalon, but you can also leverage the Test Cloud, which is our own cloud platform where we provide the cross-browser testing as well as the multi-device testing. And then definitely we do the visual testing also, where you will have the option to leverage the comparison of the your uh, visuals of your applications during the execution, where you can do a comparison based on the pixel to pixel, layout based and content based, so that you're not only taking care of the functional testing as well as your we are supporting you to do the visual testing also using the Catalan platform. So that's about integrations. About the technical stuff, like we have the platform which support on the all the different kind of technologies, as I said, whether it is mobile, whether it is APIs, whether it is web or desktop, all of we are supporting cross browser. If you see, all the browsers are getting supported, whether it is mobile browsers or whether it is desktop browsers, we are supporting that. We do have the data driven testing, which can be used for the Excel data, which can be integrated with the CSVs, or even for the database. If you have the database, we have the data, you can easily integrate database data into the your automation script. So that's how we do follow the different testing approaches, like normal TDD approaches, data driven approaches, or even for the BDD approach, we can follow that using the Katalon platform. And then we have the built-in reports, where you can download the reports into the different formats. Also you can see the reports onto the dashboards, and all the analytics reports are available into the platform itself. Okay, so that's up about the Catalan platform, how it is look like. I will jump into the demo section and I will show you how exactly the Catalan platform looks like, what are the different component into the Catalan platform. But before that, I will hand it over to the Kefin, and Kefin will share you how the MII is doing into the region with the different customers along with the Catalan, and some of certain user stories or use cases or success stories he will share with you guys. So thank you. I will just pause for some time and then I will give you the demo. Thank you. Kevin, it's up to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rupert, for your amazing presentation. before we are moving forward to Rupesh demonstration, I'll be sharing my screen. So, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'll present my decks in bahasa Indonesia. Maybe. Ya. Oke. Jadi mungkin untuk teman-teman tadi seperti yang sudah disampaikan oleh Rupes. Jadi sebenarnya Katalon itu adalah platform. Jadi kalau dulu mungkin teman-teman kenal dengan mungkin tools yang cukup familiar yang sering dipakai adalah Studio. Jadi sekarang Katalon kita punya beberapa fitur baru mulai dari Katalon Test Ops, Katalon Test Cloud dan lain-lain. Mungkin nanti akan bisa dibantu oleh Rupes untuk di bagian demonya. Dan kalau kita lihat di slide selanjutnya mungkin, ini adalah kenapa Katalon. Jadi Katalon sendiri ini adalah solusi untuk melakukan end-to-end testing. Jadi kita bisa melakukan develop test script automation yang di Katalon, terus kita bisa menjalankan, kita bisa generate report, dan kita juga bisa membuat, melihat ataupun memonitoring dari sisi tes apa aja sih yang sudah dijalankan, terus tes ini dijalankan oleh siapa, semuanya itu kita bisa monitor dengan menggunakan tools Katalon ini juga. Dan dengan Katalon ini kita bisa support untuk melakukan functional testing, mulai dari platform website, terus API, terus mobile aplikasi, iOS dan Android. Dan untuk onboarding aplikasi Katalon ini juga cukup sederhana. Jadi untuk teman-teman yang mungkin baru familiar dengan Katalon, jadi kita punya plugin dari Katalon. Jadi kita cukup melakukan recorder tanpa ada melakukan manual scripting di level tools-nya. Jadi dari pluginnya tadi akan otomatis mengkonversikan dari script yang sudah kita buat sebelumnya menjadi script untuk dilakukan otomasinya. Seperti itu. Dan Katalon ini sendiri untuk delivery models-nya hybrid, jadi kita bisa sebagai SaaS ataupun on-prem. Oke, mungkin itu dari sisi Katalonnya. Jadi mungkin selanjutnya dari sisi MI. Nah, ini adalah customer reference dari kita. Jadi untuk mungkin di Indonesia sendiri, Katalon ini juga sudah cukup familiar dan ada begitu banyak company yang sudah pakai Katalon ini sendiri. Dan mungkin slide ataupun customer logo yang ada di screen teman-teman ini adalah customer reference yang di-provide oleh MI. Jadi kita ada beberapa customer fokus mulai dari berbagai macam industri, dan kalau di screen ini mostly di area FSI ataupun financial service industry, tapi kita juga ada beberapa customer lain mulai dari ekspedisi, terus biomedical dan lain-lain. Oke, jadi mungkin sedikit use case. Jadi ini adalah apa sih yang sudah kita lakukan dari sisi MII ke customer kita. Jadi biasanya ada beberapa tipe request. Jadi kalau untuk case-nya di salah satu bank, di Bank Mandiri, kita melakukan development script Katalon untuk beberapa aplikasi, dan itu termasuk dari website, aplikasi website, terus aplikasi mobile iOS dan Android, dan juga kita lakukan untuk testing API-nya. Nah, selanjutnya untuk customer reference di company lain, ini adalah kita dari sisi MI, kita bantu buatkan workflow CI/CD-nya. Jadi kita lakukan integrasi dengan Jenkins, terus juga dengan surrounding tool. Misalnya teman-teman udah pakai tools, misalnya terus untuk security ada SonarQube, terus tools untuk manajemen ticketing ada Jira. Nah, itu kita bisa bantu setup integrasi dari tools Katalon ini tadi. Dan untuk di Katalon implementasi di Metra Plaza, jadi kita sudah membuat script Katalon itu kurang lebih ada 15.000 script, dan itu kita kerjakan selama 3 bulan. Oke, selanjutnya, nah ini adalah gimana sih dari sisi MI biasanya apa yang kita provide ke customer kita. Jadi biasanya kita bantu provide untuk melakukan assessment, jadi kita bantu assess kira-kira script yang possible untuk dilakukan otomasi. Setelah itu kita akan lanjutkan di bagian untuk setup tools dan environment-nya. Jadi kita bantu installkan tools Catalan Studio-nya, terus integrasi dengan surrounding misalnya CI/CD tools seperti Jenkins dan lain-lain. Terus juga kita bisa lakukan piloting. Jadi misalnya dari teman-teman atau Bapak Ibu punya let's say mungkin 1000 test case, nah itu kita bisa lakukan dalam bentuk piloting juga. Jadi misalnya 500 dikerjakan oleh MI, 500-nya lagi dikerjakan oleh internal team. Dan selama project ataupun onboarding tadi, kita bisa saling kolaborasi dari tim internal MI dan tim internal Bapak Ibu. Okay, Rupesh, I think it's pretty much from my slide, so I'll pass over to you for the next demonstration. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. So thank you. Today we'll see that about demo in the what are the different components of the Katalon platform. So if you see, guys, we do the end-to-end continuous automation using the Katalon platform, where we have the different component of the Katalon. First component is the Katalon Studio. Basically, this is required for the test authoring or test creations, test script creation as an IDE, which is Katalon Studio. The second, we require a desktops, which is our overall platform, which will support you to do the test planning, test management, doing the test scheduling, executing, and then analyzing all your results from different technologies, which is like added into the desktops, and you can see those results of visual testing as well as the executions. And then for the execution, we have the two different component where you can do the execution. One is on our test cloud environment, where you get the option to choose whatever different browsers you want to choose, like Chrome, or if it is Mozilla, or if it is let's say Safari or Microsoft Edge, all those browsers with different versions, and then on different OS also. Let's say you want to execute on your desktop onto the Windows application or Windows OS, you can choose that. Or if you want to execute on the Mac OS, or if you want to execute on Linux. So all those three different OS are available. And if you want to execute on your own distributed environments, then you can use the Katalon runtime engine. Or if you want to let's say integrate with your CI/CD tool like Jenkins or some other tools, then you can use the Katalon runtime engine, and then you can execute that on your own platforms or environment. So that's how these are the four different components are available. So I will jump into the Katalon Studio, and we'll see that how the web automation testing can be achieved. So basically, we are built on top of the Selenium libraries, and then we have our own libraries created for the web application and web automation testing, and even for the mobile browsers and then desktop browsers automation. So definitely, we do have the different features which is more focused like a self-healing kind of features, or then smart weight kind of features which is available in the web automation testing. So definitely we have the pre-built libraries of the keywords which you can go and create. It's a low code automation platform, so no need to do your scripting. You can just go and record your script or record your flow, and then you will get the automatic script generated. You will have the access to the script whenever you want to go and see the script, or you want to play with your let's say you have the understanding on the script or programming languages, you can go and check those script also. uh, we have the different integrations available, and the best practices to be followed, like for example, different team size are working on the one of the project. You want to do the integration with the GitHub, or you can do the integration with Bitbucket. You can create your own branching strategy, so that at the end of the day, different peoples are working on the same project creating the automation script. Those script can be like can be yeah, pushed to the source code management tool, so that at the end of the day your code will be integrated into the single repository. So all those stuffs are available with the IDE, like Katalon Studio. So this is the Katalon Studio IDE. If you see here, we have the ready-made frameworks. Best part is, like, if you go with the open source kind of tool like a Selenium or Appium, you should need to go and create a framework from the scratch. But if you go with the Katalon Studio, the best part is, like, whenever you open the Katalon Studio ID, you will get the ready-made framework over here with all the different folder structure, where you can create your test cases. We will have the object repository stored. You can create your test suits. You will have the data files created, which will be used for reading the data from Excel, CSV, or databases. checkpoints can be created, keywords are available, you can create your own custom keywords, test listeners are available. So all those stuffs are available. Even you can use the BDD kind of testing. Then you can go and create your own uh, future files and scripts for that future files. So those things are available here as a ready-made framework. Okay, so how you can automate the web application. So if you see here, we have the recorder for the web application automation. You need to just click on the record web application. You can have your URL for the web application, which you can put it over here, and then you can record your web application on different browsers. Either you can record on Chrome, Firefox, or Edge, any browser. Even if you are recording on the Chrome, it can be executed on the different browsers. There is no change in the script. You can just play and record on the one browser, and you can execute on the other browsers as well. Okay, so let's record one web automation script here on the Chrome browser. So if you see here, whenever you whenever you open the browsers, let me just yeah, update the driver. If you see here, Chrome is got updated. Yeah, so you can update your driver as well as whenever your Chrome or any browsers get updated, you can have your own updated driver for that particular browser. So there is no need to go and download and put that browsers or anything into the your frameworks. Everything is available here, just one click away. You can click here now. So whenever you start a browser, you can see that activities is getting recorded over here. Like it's like opening a browser. So open browser activity will be recorded here. And if you want to go for the next step, like navigating to the particular URL, so that URL will be added to the browser. So let me just remove and let's try on Firefox. I think, yeah. Yeah, so if you see like whenever you start on a browser, open browser activity will get created, navigate URL activity will be automatically get added for that particular URL which you are trying to automate. Now, whenever you do any action on that particular web page, all the steps will be get recorded here. For example, let's say I'm clicking on the make appointment here. So the make appointment object got captured as well as the activities got captured. Let's put some user ID and password here. If you see, all the actions is getting recorded here uh, into this particular pane. You can see that password is also getting recorded, as well as the data which is a password is encrypted in a format. So you can see all the steps which you are doing over here, all the steps are getting recorded. If you want to select some drop down value, if you want to click on the checkbox, select some radio button, or you want to select some date value, you can do all those stuffs here, and everything is getting recorded. Click on book appointment. Yeah, let's say you want to put some verification also. At any point, you can just right click and do the verification. For example, you want to verify this element text because I am on confirmation page and I want to see that the confirmation message is available there. So you can just put the verify element text as well. Okay, and then you can click onto the go to home page, and you can just close the browser. Or at the let's say you want to take any screenshot during this particular flow. So you can just add the keywords for the screenshot. You can just add the web UI keyword, and you can put here like a take screenshot. Okay, so that's how very easily you can easily complete your whole flow into the 30 second. You can just see that all the object got captured over here. If you see, these are the objects, and these are the detail about that particular object properties which is got captured, like XPath attributes and the CSS values as well as images. So all those stuffs are getting captured automatically. All this lot of information is available here, and why this information is available, I will tell you. Let's store this information now. So I will just save this script. I can give the object repository a new name. So let me create a new folder here. I will give you demo or. So this is my object repository. I can store my objects into this repository. I can click on OK. I can give a name to this test case like web demo. I can store this here. So once I store this use case now, and I want to execute this use case, I can just click on the browser wherever I want to execute, whether I want to execute on the Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge, any browser I can execute this same script, which is got recorded over here. And let's see, like whatever the objects which got captured here are stored into the object repository. For example, this is my make appointment object. You can see that there are a lot of information is stored here. For example, relative XPath, all the neighbor XPath, all those informations are available. Why this is captured is because we are having the self-healing feature which is available. So you can have the self-healing feature. What happened with this is, like, for example, there is certain changes in every release for that particular object or for that particular object properties. So there is a chance that the same automation script will get fail into the next release. But with the self-healing kind of features, those objects which are getting failed for that particular release are automatically get rectified, and then those objects are get self-heal during the execution, and there is a very less chance of failure for that particular, and you do not need to maintain by yourself. The Katalon itself maintain the all those uh, XPath for that particular object or for that broken element. Okay, so let's see how it will happen. For example, let's assume that this is my make appointment XPath, and let's say I just removed some part of this, and this is my wrong XPath for now. And if I execute the same script now again on the browser, and I know that this will get failed because the object XPath is not correct. Let's assume that there is a release happening, and after the release my XPath got changed. How the self-healing will happen here now we will see. So let's execute this onto browser now. So if I execute this, you will see that how the self-healing is happening. So it's starting the browser now. It's going into the particular URL which is there into the testing. Now it's trying to click on the make appointment, but you see that it's not directly clicking on the make appointment because it's not able to find that particular XPath which is got changed, right? So object properties which is there into the XPath is not able to find that. Now we'll see that how it will do the self-filling and then automatically continue the execution. So it's now just taking a time to do the self filling. It's checking whether that particular XPath is working or not, and then it will automatically heal that particular. So here is a self filling happening. Now you can see that it's already clicked on the make appointment, going forward with the all other steps, completing the flow with the detail, doing the verification as well, and then close. Okay, so that's how you can see that all the steps are got executed. The test case is got passed. And at this third point, if you see, we can see that there is a self-healing is happening because this is the particular object property or XPath which is trying to see, but it's already wrong XPath, so it's not working. Then what happened is, like, it's already taken care by Katalon. Katalon has done the self-healing and is found that there is a new particular XPath which has to be used for this particular object to identify, and then with the self-healing, the execution is completed. So you can see that what was the broken element during the execution, what is the proposed locator by the particular execution. You can even see the preview of that particular object. So this is like object screenshot which is there, so you can understand that okay, my object is correct. So you can select the broken locator with the new proposed locator, and you can just approve the request. So if you see here, this is my old wrong locator. If I just approve now, you can see that I will just open this locator again. You will see that the change has been happened over here. So automatically all the broken locators can be self-healed, and with the proposed locator you can maintain your object repository very easily. Okay, so that is one of the best AI feature which we have into the self-healing for the web automation testing. uh, as I said, you can have the repositories created into the GitHub Bitbucket, and you can manage your branches. You can commit your code from here. You can just click on the commit. You will see all the latest changes. You can just put that into the stage. You put the commit message, and you can commit the whatever the code which we have developed into the Catalog Studio into the Bitbucket. So you can see that Bitbucket repository you can create, or you can create a GitHub repository. So for example, here in my case, I have this repository created. You can always do a commit on that particular branch. So all the commits will be stored over here, and you will always have the latest code into the any of your Git repository, which can be utilized into the execution. When you do the execution, you will always have the latest code into the Bitbucket for the automation script. Okay, so that's how the Katalon Studio is supporting for the web application automation testing. Uh, Next, I will jump into the next part of the mobile automation testing. So if you see, guys, in the mobile automation testing also, we have the mobile automation testing, which is also based on the Appium, but we have our own libraries which will support all the native application built onto the Android devices or built on the iOS devices. All the web applications, web views also supported. All the hybrid apps also supported using the Katalon. Uh, Definitely, we have the pre-built library of the functions which can be used. You can create your custom keywords whenever you require. You can do the integration with all the different tools. Even we have the some workaround on the Flutter based kind of applications also, which is like a newer technologies used for the mobile automation testings. So all those things are available with the Katalon mobile automation. You can execute on real devices, you can execute on the emulators, you can develop your script using the emulators, you can execute on the cloud devices, as well as you can integrate with the any third party cloud devices, for example browser stack, source lab, or Perfecto, or any other third party device firms which you are using right now. So that's how I will show you the demo about the how we can create the automation script for the Android as well as for the iOS devices. So let's assume I have two emulator over here. One is for the Android emulator, you can see on the screen, and then I have the another emulator for the iOS as well. So let's create one script for the mobile application now. We can see how easily you can create that. So let's put an Android device now. So this is the emulator which I'm using for the Android. I need to select the application file which is there. So you need to have the APK file for the execution. So for example, if I go here into the Android project, I have the Android APK. So this is the APK file I need to select. You can click on the start. So the start application will launch the particular device on the screen, and then it will automatically install the application. So if you see here, the device which is there into the here, if you see this device, it's automatically get launched with the particular application. And you can see that into the Katalon Studio window here for the recording purpose. Now what you need to do is you need to record your application. Similarly, how you recorded for the web applications, you can record this for the mobile application as well. You can click on the tab. You can see that all the recorded actions will be recorded here. Okay, objects are getting captured as well. Let's say I want to do a certain let's say I will do some input over here. I will click on the tab for the content. I will do into the clipboard, do a tab. So all the object repository is getting created here. If I click on the data type, let's say I put some text over here. So I will use the set text. So all the actions are mentioned over here for that particular object. So let's I put the demo for Android app. Click on OK. So you can see that the text is getting set over here. All these actions are getting recorded here. So that's how all the actions, all the objects which is getting captured here. And similarly, you can save the script. You can save the script into the object repository. You can give the create a new folder. Let's say for the Android demo app. These are the OR. I can store that OR into this. Then I can store the test case. I can give this test case name as Android test case. And then I can store that test case here. So you can see that the test case is stored here. Script is getting generated at the backend. Okay, so you can always have access to the script as well. So this is a low code platform. Here then what you need to do is, let's say you want to execute this onto the emulator. So you can execute this onto the same emulator. You can click on the Android to execute. So if I click on the Android, it will start and you will show what are the devices which is attached to my computer. So currently I have the one emulator which is attached to my computer, so I can execute that. So if you see here, the script will get launched onto the emulator and you can see the execution happening on the emulator also. You can have a real devices connected. You can even execute on the real devices as well as some of the third party cloud devices also. So you can see that execution is happening over here. Okay, so that's how the execution is getting completed and all the test cases are passed, all the test steps are passed onto the Android. Similarly, you can create and execute on the iOS devices also. So if you want to execute on the iOS devices, at the same time you can use the emulator real devices. So I have some emulator over here. I will execute this onto the iPad, and then you similarly you need to select the uh, file for the IPA file for the iOS application. So you can go to the IPA file, which you can select here. So I have one coffee timer application, the IPA file which is selected. I can launch that into the particular device. So once it got launched onto the device, similarly how you recorded for the web application, how you recorded for the mobile application, similarly you can record here on the iOS devices. Second part I want to tell you is like web automation. When you are scripting or when you are recording the web browser on the desktop, same browser script can be executed for the mobile browser as well. You need no need to record the web browser script for the mobile separately. If you have recorded for the desktop web browsers, same script can be executed on the mobile web browser as well. Okay, so you can see that this is the this is the iOS application which got launched here with the all the detail about the different object repository here. You can click on those different objects. You can just click on have the uh, actions recorded here. You can see that actions are getting recorded here. You can click on the start, do a tap, or you can do some get text over here. For example, I want to do a get text here. I can do a get text. If I want to do a text screenshot, I can do a text screenshot as well for the mobile applications. So those are the options available here. And once you execute all those particular steps, you can save the script and execute on that emulators, or you can execute on the real devices as well. So this is like about how you can automate the different application, whether it is mobile applications, native applications, or whether it is a hybrid application kind of thing where you have the some of the part of your native app and then you have some part of your web views. Those can be recorded here. Okay, so it's getting executed. So let me just jump onto the other part of this. It's a little bit slower at my side. Yeah, do take screenshot. I can store that into the, yeah. So you can see that screenshot will work over here. So that's how you guys can easily record this, and then similarly you can save and execute that onto the particular device. So I will jump into the next part. This is like how about the Android test or iOS test. The next part is about how you can do onto the API testing. So as you all know that in today's world, when you are doing the agile world, what you need to do first is like you need to do unit testing. After unit testing, you may know, go to the API testing first, and then you will go for the UI and functional testing, right? So API testing is a very ship-left approach where you can go and test the APIs before your UI is getting built and developed and uh, available for the testing. So API testing in microservices world, you have the different kind of SOAP requests, REST APIs, and you want to test those APIs using the automation testing. So we do support the API testing as well as how we can do is that, for example, you want to do the API testing, you can create a object repository for the APIs, even if you have your own set of Postman collection which is already there. You can import those Postman collection. You can import some WSDLs which you already have, or if you have the open API specification, you can import that also. If you have the SOAP UI already having the collections which you can import over here. So those options are available. If you want to do it from the scratch, you can create your web service request here. You can give the name of your API, for example, get user API, I can say, and then you can have the option to select whether it is RESTful API or SOAP API. For example, for in my case, it's a RESTful API. I can click on OK. So it will give you option to have the whatever kind of API you want to automate, whether it is get, post, put, delete, all those kind of methods are available. Then you can put your URL. So I will take you one example where I have the uh, one sample APIs for you guys. So let's see. So for example, this is one of the website where I have the sample APIs and I want to get the user here. For example, let's say get user. This is one of the API. So I will take this as in my URL. So I will put this URL here. This is my endpoint. I can put this endpoint here. So this is my endpoint, okay, and this is my GET request. So simply what I need to do is I can just run this API here, and I will get the response into my pane. If you see here, this is my response for that particular API. But let's say if it is a not a GET API, let's say it's a POST API or something, and you want to put the authorization. So we have support to different type of authorization. Either it's a bearer authentication, basic authentication, or auth 2.0, 1.0. All those authentications are supported. You can put your HTTP headers like content type or authorization headers. All those stuffs you can put it over here. You can create your HTTP body, which is required for some of the POST APIs. For example, you want to uh, send some body. Let's say here I can show you one example. Maybe this one. Yeah. So here you can create your own body for the data which is required. So you can have your own JSON body here. You can put your HTTP headers like this is my content type, this is my basic authentication. So you can add those all the detail about that particular APIs here. So for example, let's say you want to put some verifications. What I can do is like you can just need to click on the particular verifications and then verifications get added over here. For example, I want to validate the first name. So I can just click here and do the control K. So automatically you can see that verifications is added here. The verification itself says that I want to verify the first name and the value for the first name is should be Janet. So these are the verifications which easily get added over here. If you want to validate the response code, so there are certain code snippets are available. So for example, if you want to see that the status code is successful, you can just add the success status code as an verification. So once I click on here, it will add the verification code verification for the status code as well. So you can see that the status code is need to be 200. So if it is 200 or 201, it should be like a successful status code, right? So that's how you can add the verification for the API. You can even create the variables where you can have the data driven APIs. For example, you have the body and in the inside the body you need to put your data during the you need to generate the dynamic body during the execution. So that also possible using the variables. You can create the different variables here and then that variables can be used into the HTTP body. So that's how you can automate the APIs. You can even do the chain API call. So what you need to do is you need to create the test case over here. For example, I can create a test case for the API, and then I will have the list of APIs which I need to call. For example, let's say this is my authorization API. So what I will do is I will first call this authorization API here. So what I will do is I will add a service web service keyword and I will send a request and verify. So I will call this authorization API first. I will get the authentication token from this particular request. Then I will call the second API. And then for the second API, again, I will do a send request here. So these are the different keywords which is available. You can add the keywords for web, API, mobile, if it is BDD, web services, Windows, TestNG, whichever keyword you want to use. So I want to use the API keyword, so I will add this one. So here you will have, let's say, next is a list user. So once you have the authentication token, that authentication token can be stored into the variable, and then that variable can be passed to the list user API, and you can call the other API. So the chaining API, for example, you have the chain call of the API that can be also managed into the Katalon. So that's about the API testing. We do also have the different keywords available for the verifications, even if you want to validate the schema. So there are certain use case or certain scenarios where you want to validate the JSON schema as well as the XML schema for that particular response. So we do also validate the JSON schema. We also validate the GraphQL schemas or XML schemas for the response body. Okay, so we have these kind of different features available for the API testing, where you can utilize or leverage the API automation as well as API response body verification from the Katalon Studio. Okay, so that's about the API testing. We do also support the Windows application testing also using the Windows recorders, but we have the limited application technologies which we support normally. The application which is built on the WPF or WinForm kind of technologies can be automated using the Katalon Studio. So we do support the web, we do support the API, we do support the mobile as well as certain Windows application as well as. Now next part is like in the Katalon Studio, if you see, we talk about the test cases, we talked about the object repository, how we can create the test case, how we can store the object repository, how we can execute that from here in the Katalon Studio. The second thing is like you can create your own test suits. Okay, so for example, if I want to create a test suit, I can create a test suit which is collection of the test cases. You can create a test suit collection which is basically collection of test suits, and even you have the option to create a dynamic test suit. So what are the difference between these three, I will just tell you. So for example, if I creating a test suite, so this is my test suite, uh, which has the test cases associated with that particular uh, test suite, which I can execute on the different browsers. And we have the option to execute on the test cloud also. So test cloud environment is basically cloud environment where you have the option to choose your own browser, your own OS, and your own version of the particular browser, so that you can do the cross browser testing. For example, if I want to do the Windows, I want to test on Windows, I want to test on Linux, you can choose that which browser you want to execute and then which particular version you want to test, so that you can select and you can execute your script. So that's how you can utilize the test cloud environment for the execution when you have the created a test suite. So if you have the test suite, you can execute that. Second, what I want to show you is like test suite collection. So for example, if you have the test suite collection, what you can do is you can utilize the different test suites here, and you want to achieve the parallel execution on different browser, for example. So you can do sequentially or parallelly. You can select the different browsers. Let's say same test suite you want to execute on the Chrome browser, same test suite you want to execute on the mobile browser, same test suite you want to execute on the Firefox. So you can choose that everything, and then you can execute this test suite collection on that particular browsers. Either you can execute on parallel mode or in a sequential mode. So that's how it is possible. Second thing, for example, there is a use case where you have the user journey, which is starting from the mobile application, then it is going to the API calls, then it is going to the browsers, and then again going back to the mobile application. So you may have the cross-platform user journeys. So those user journeys can be also automated and can be executed using the this test suite collection. So you can start from the browser, you can go to the mobile application, then you can execute on the browser, or you can have a API call also in between. So those kind of cross-platform can be also executed using the Katalon Studio. Okay, so that is use of the test suite collection. The second is like dynamic test suite creation. So what happens is like, for example, in certain cases, you need to decide the scope of your test case execution during the uh, runtime. For example, the build is got deployed, and in based on the input from the build, for example, there is certain functionalities got developed, and you need to select the high priority or let's say sanity test cases for the execution in a first round, and in second round you want to do the regression test cases. So what you can do is you can mark your test cases, you can tag your test cases with different taggings. So for example, in every test case we have option to tag the test cases. For example, you can tag the test case as a sanity test case. You can tag this as a regression test case as well as, okay, or it is high priority test case. You can mark this as a high priority test case. So you can add the different tags over here. And what happens is like whenever you do the tagging, and what you will do is in dynamic test suite, you can create a query which is like a executed during the runtime. So here you can decide, okay, I want to execute a high priority test case, or I want to execute the regression test case during the my execution. So I can add this, and you can see that whenever you execute this kind of regression test case, or if I want to say high priority test case, you can see that high priority test cases will automatically got filtered from your project, and that can be executed during the runtime. So this is how the dynamic test suite can be created based on some certain inputs during the runtime. All the filtered test cases can be executed. So that is use of the dynamic test suite. So we have three type of test suite. One is a normal test suite, which is collection of test cases. Test suite collection, which is collection of test suite, so that you can do the parallel execution or cross-platform executions. And third is a dynamic test suite. Then we have the support for the data files, where you can create a data set. You can create a data set where you can select the file, either it is CSV file, or it could be the I can say it is a database actions also, or it could be the Excel files. And based on that, you can, so you can have option to CSV, database, Excel, everything you can do. If it is data set, you can put a query for the data set. You can create a SQL query. You can bind that query. You can edit the query here. You can put the different connection detail about the JDBC drivers and username, password to the database. And based on the query, it will fetch the data from the database, and that data can be utilized into the data driven test cases. So you can create a data driven test cases. For example, this is my test case just now, which we recorded this web demo. So what you can do is you can create your variables here. For example, my variable should be like username, password. Okay. You can have many different data points which you can create here. And what you need to do is you need to, instead of these hard coded values, you need to parameterize this one using the variables. So you can create a variable, and then you can select whatever the variables which is here, like username, password. So this is like a parameterization you want to do. And then how you will do it data binding is, at this point you need to do a data binding here. You can add your database or Excel or CSVs here. You can add the data set from here. For example, this is my data set. You can add that data set. And then what you need to do is you need to map all. So what you can do is you can save the same variable name as an column name into your database or into your Excel sheet. And when you do a map all, automatically the Excel data will be attached here to the particular variables, and then the automatically the data driven test cases will happen. So that's how the data binding option is available for you guys. um, then once you have the data, you can create your checkpoints also at particular point. If you are using certain data, you can see that you can store that checkpoints of the data set which is used during the execution. You can create your own keywords if you want to create your own custom keywords, because there are certain logical flows which you want to or there are certain I can say calculations which you want to do for the verification. For example, there is a insurance applications, or if there is a loan application where you are doing the loan originating flow or something, and there is certain calculation which you know you want to do for the verification. Those kind of keywords you can create here, and those custom keyword can be used into the test cases. For example, if I want to use the custom keyword, I can create that custom keywords here. So if you see, this is my custom keyword. So you can add your custom keywords here using the keyword @keyword. And then whenever I create some custom keywords with the name, I can use these custom keywords here into my test cases. I just need to add here a custom keyword. So if you see here, I can add a custom keyword. So all the customs keyword can be shown here. Even we have the Katalon store, where you have the different plugins available for the Excel data read write, PDF data read write, or database related keywords. So all those plugins are available. You can use that plugin. You can install those plugins from here. if you see, you have the option to install the plugins. You can just go and manage your plugin from the store. Once you install and reload those plugin, you will see all your plugins related keywords available here. Like this is my database keyword. If you see the, there are certain keywords for the Excel, and then there are certain keyword for the API tool. There are certain keyword for the accessibility testing, right? We do support the accessibility testing keywords also. So those are the things which you can add using the custom keywords. So this is how keyword section can be utilized. You can create your own test listener. For example, there are certain things which you need to do during the test suite, before test suite, after test suite, before test case, after test case, those kind of things. Those things you can utilize using the test listener. So this is all about the Katalon Studio. There is a lot I can talk about the Katalon Studio, but let's jump to the next section where I want to show you overall platform about the how everything can be managed or how everything can be orchestrated using our desktop platform. So whatever script which you are creating, or whichever script which is available into the repository, code repository, everything can be configured here. For example, I have the automation script created in the Katalon Studio. I can put that into the Git repository. That Git repository can be added over here into the Katalon desktops, so that in this platform you can always have the access to the latest automation script which you want to execute. Okay, then what you can do is like you can create your own environment here. For example, if you want to execute on your local agent machines, so you can create a local agent setup which is available here. You can create an agent setup and you will have the your own agent which can be execute the script on your own machine or your distributed environment. If you don't want to utilize local agents, you can use the test cloud. So we have the test cloud agent available which can be utilized for the execution. We do have the integrations with the different tools, like we have the integration with the Dockers, GitHub Actions, GitLab, or we have the integration with the Jira. So those kind of integrations can be added over here. You can put the URL of the Jira, you can put the username, password. Even if you have the something like X-ray or let's say Zephyr kind of thing, which is using into the Jira, then you can also integrate the X-ray and Zephyr kind of thing also into the Katalon desktops. So for example, let's take here, I have a Jira project over here. I have certain releases which is created into the Jira, and inside my release I have certain user storage which is created. So you can see that all this stuff is available into the Katalon desktops. If I go into the planning stage, I can see that I have the different requirements and releases which is populated from the Jira. So this is my Jira releases which is getting populated here. You can create your own releases also inside the desktops. You can see that what are my requirements which is linked to that particular user stories and test cases. You can see all the detail about your user stories. So these are my user stories from the Jira. I can see these user stories here. Even you can see the traceability matrix, like what is your user stories and how that user stories are linked here with the test cases, automation test cases. So for example, this is my user story. Let's take this example. So this is my user story for the creating deal. This user story is linked with my execution or my test cases. So this is my test cases. These are the executions result of that particular test cases, and these are the defect. Even you can create a defect into the Jira from the Katalon test of itself. So these are the defect which is linked to that particular user story. So here you will get overall traceability matrix and overall test coverage about your project. You can see that how my release is happening, how many test cases are getting passed, fail in your dashboard as well. Okay, so this is like kind of dashboard which you can get here. So I will just put some data here. So I can put some backdated dates so that you can see the results and data. So this you can see like how many time you executed, what are the test number of pass, fail. This is how your release is happening. My release is almost 77% is getting passed, but there are 33% or 22% test cases are still getting fail. So my release is not yet ready to move for the next environment because there are certain defects. So that's how you can get all the information about the productivity, flaky test caseness, then platform coverage, like how you are covering all the different browsers, Chrome, Firefox, whether it is passing, failing on different OS also. So this is the OS wise, browser wise comparison you will get. You can see the coverage, like how many user stories are there, how many you are getting covered, how many of their pass, how many of their fail. So you can get all lot of coverage detail into the single platform, right? So how many agents are there which is getting executed, and all those stuffs are available into the dashboard. Now coming back to the test management. So in the test management, you will see that whatever the test automation code which is available, I have the test cases which is available here. You can link those test cases to the particular user stories, and all those stuffs can be happen here. So if you see here, these are my test cases, and then there are different test suits. So whatever I have developed into the Katalon Studio, everything will be available here, so that I can map any test case or test suits here. So for example, if I go to here, and I can see this is my user test case, and then I can link that test cases to the user stories. Okay, so you can see here, I want to link to the X-ray test case, I can link that. If I want to link to the requirement from the Jira, for example, I can link this to the KDP1 as my user story. So this is my user story. I can link that. I can click on this particular link button, and then it will link to that particular requirement. So that's how easily you can link to the Jira user stories and all those stuffs. Even if you have any defect, you can link that defect also to that particular test cases. Okay, so that's how the test management section work. Second, you can see the test execution. So in the test execution, we have the option to schedule the test run. So what you can do is you can schedule your test cases. Either you can schedule, or you can save the configuration where you can execute this particular saved test run through the Jenkins or through the different CI/CD tools. If you want to schedule on the different date time, you can do that also. You want to schedule on the different environment like test cloud environment or local environment or in Kubernetes, you can define what environment you want to execute. You can select the your demo project or your uh, project which is available in the Git, so that you can always have a latest automation code available here. You can select which test suite you want to execute, or whether you want to execute test suite collection, or if you want to execute just a Katalon command which is available, you can select that one. Let's say I want to execute the test suite, I can select the test suite I want to execute. You can select, there are different test suite which is created, which test suite you want to execute, that you can select. Then you can select the browser, either you want to do on mobile browser or you want to do on Chrome, Firefox, desktop browser, whichever browser you want to execute, you can select that one. And then once you are having the test cloud environment, you have the option to select different OS, different browser, and then version. So you can select that here. Even if you want to do the parallel execution on different browser on different OS, you can select that also. So you can add multiple browsers, multiple versions for the execution purpose in the test cloud. Okay. Second option we have available is for the mobile browser also. We do the mobile, so you can select the Android devices, which OS, which phone you want to select. You can select that phone, and then Chrome browser will be used for the execution. If you want to do on the iOS, Safari browser will be used for the execution. You can select whichever phone you want to execute, iPhone, iPad, whatever latest available phones. There are around 350 devices are available for the execution. You can choose any of the device for the execution purpose. Okay, and then you can schedule your execution on the mobile browser. If you have the mobile native application, you can select the mobile native application, but for that you need to add the application into the uh, desktop. So we have option here. You can add the application repository where you can go and upload your application, either it is APK file or IPA file. You can just upload that here, which will be used for the execution purpose. Okay, so that's how you can schedule your test execution from here, and then you can execute that into the uh, different browsers, either different browser, different OS, different devices, based on the environment which you are selecting, either it is test cloud environment or the local environment. Okay, so that's about if yeah.
Okay, Rupesh, I think we have to move to our next agenda because we have
Sure.
limited time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will just take a 5 minute. That's okay. I just want to cover the
Uh,
visual testing.
okay, that's good. But I think 2 minutes is it good?
Okay, 2 minutes is fine. Okay, okay,
Okay.
no problem. So we do support also visual testing part, guys. So as I told, not only the functional testing, visual testing also is very important part, where you have the image screenshot taken during the execution, which is getting compared with the baseline images, so that we can have a baseline images which is automatically get created. It's very simple in the Katalon Studio. What you need to do is, you need to download the test images as a checkpoint. So that is take screenshot as a checkpoint is a keyword which you can utilize, and you can give a name to that particular screenshot, so that though you can add any number of screenshot during the execution. And based on these checkpoint images, what will happen is like you will see the baseline images got created here, and then it will get compared with the uh, baseline images versus the executed images, and you will see the difference, like what are the changes which happening on the screen, whether it is moving from a particular location, or if the screenshot got failed because of the certain changes pixel wise or content wise. If you see here, I will just show you one failure example. So this is my screenshot which I was taken during the first execution as a baseline image, and this is the executed later stage. And I see that there is a problem between the two images, that it is getting failed between the pixel to pixel and the content base, because here I have the Hong Kong as an entity, but here I have the Tokyo as an entity. So facility is different in the two screenshot, and that is the reason it is got failed. So that's how we have the three different AI feature: pixel wise, layout wise, and text content wise, so that the visual defects also get captured during the execution. Let's say this go to homepage button got shrink, or it got moved from one location to another location. Those kind of defect can be captured into the visual testing. So this is another best feature which we have into the our platform. So thank you so much, guys, for your patience and time and understanding this. If you have any question, I think we will open the forum for the question now.
Okay, thank you Rupesh and also Kevin for the presentation. It was very insightful. Oke, buat rekan-rekan semua jangan lupa ya untuk mengisi feedback form yang sudah ada di chat box, sudah ada linknya. Kemudian ini sudah ada penanya ya. We have a question from Adisti Adrian from Arta Jasa. Okay, maybe Kevin or Rupesh can answer. The question is, for API testing in development, Arta Jasa currently using mock service tools that can simulate a client's response without having to connect directly to the client's environment. Does Katalon have this feature? If
Yeah,
not,
so
okay.
yeah, so I think she maybe talking about the mocking of the API. So yes, we are supporting some third-party mock APIs feature also. I think that will be getting released very soon, so that you can have the mock APIs created, and you can simulate the API testing for the mock APIs as well. Okay.
Oke,
Is that
Mbak Adisti menjawab atau tidak Mbak Adisti?
what is the next question, Dara?
Okay, the next question is from Etrina from Fifth Group. The question is, she has 3 points. Okay. For the first is, when testing on the mobile test, it seems that there are various devices to choose from.
Yeah.
The question is, are devices already provided in Katalon Studio, or do you have to install it from a third party?
Yeah, so there is an option like you have a emulator option, so that the if you are installing the Xcode, or if you are having the Android SDK installed on your on your machine, then you will have all the list of emulators which you can use for the execution. So that is one option. Second option, you can use the real devices which is connected to your own machine. Third option is like, for example, if you have any third party integration like Browser Stack or Lambda Test or Source Lab, or if you have integrated with the Perfecto or Kobiton is one of the device form. So you will have option to choose those list of devices from those third party applications also. Okay.
Okay, for the second question is, Katalon Studio runs on a local computer, or does it use a VM or virtual machine?
Yeah, so it does work on the local machine as well as in the cloud environment, even on the Docker container or Kubernetes. We can execute the even on the virtual machines also. We can execute that.
For the third question, can Katalon Studio be integrated with any test case management tools
Yeah,
like X-Ray, Zapier, HPALM, can it works?
Yeah, so as I shared some of the already shared some of the integrations which is available. Again, I will just show you here the integration page of the Katalon so that you can see all the integrations which is supported by the uh, Katalon. Like we have support to all the ALM tools which is there in list. So if you see here, these are the ALM tools which we are supporting. So we support the Azure DevOps, Jira, Qtest, X-Ray, TestRail, Rally, and even on the Zephyr, we also have the documentation on the Zephyr as well. Okay.
Oke, Mbak Petrina, apakah menjawab Mbak Petrina atau adakah yang mau ditanyakan lagi? Atau mungkin dari teman-teman yang lain, apakah masih ada pertanyaan lagi?
And so we have the support to integrate with all CI/CD tool, as I mentioned. We do support all the CI/CD tools so that you can integrate and execute on the Katalon. Any other question? Please feel free to ask.
Ya, teman-teman yang lain, bagaimana? Apakah ada pertanyaan lagi? Jangan lupa untuk mengisi ini ya, feedback formnya. Oke, ini ada pertanyaan lagi dari Bapak Restu dari Telkomsel. Currently, Telkomsel already using Appium for their mobile app automation.
Okay.
But they have issues on some app selector or if we use Katalon, as you said, that there is using Appium library, will it be any different?
Yeah, so we have certain keywords or libraries which is available with the Appium, but on the top of the Appium libraries, we have our own set of keywords and libraries which is used for the automation. So definitely you will see the difference between what is there we can automate using the Katalon. We have the free version of the Katalon. I think you guys can just go and install the 30 days trial of the Katalon and start using it. I think that will really support you guys.
Gimana Bapak Restu, apakah menjawab atau ada lagi yang kurang jelas mungkin? Oh, ada pertanyaan there is a second question. There's some dynamically change for like amount of package we capture in mobile apps. Is there any possibility to Katalon to adapt with some change?
Yeah, so as I said, the self-healing feature is available for the maintenance purpose. If there is any changes which is happening on your object properties for that particular application, whether it is web application or mobile application, we do support the self-healing feature. So definitely it will help for those kind of dynamic changes.
Okay. Is there any question, teman-teman semua? Apakah ada lagi pertanyaannya? Terima kasih atas pertanyaannya, Bapak Restu, Mbak Petrina, dan juga Mbak Adisti ya. Mungkin kita sudahi ya karena waktunya juga sudah lewat nih. Oke, thank you all for joining us. Terima kasih banyak atas partisipasinya. I also want to thank Katalon team for collaboration with us, PT Mitra Integrasi Informatika for holding this webinar. Oke,
Thank you, terima
semoga.
kasih all of you. Thank you, Pak. Thank you, Bu.
Terima
Bye-bye.
kasih. Semoga webinar ini dapat bermanfaat untuk kita semua. Baik, terima kasih
See you
semuanya.
guys.
See you.